guys, it's Kelly. I'm back with another process video. This layout I am using the September kit from Hip Kit, and I decided that the papers and that floral would be perfect for these pictures of my daughter and her best friend. So I went ahead and trimmed these photos down to 4x4, and the girls' dresses match the colors in that Amy Tangerine paper perfectly. Like, I wouldn't have been able to plan anything any better. So I decided to go ahead and mount them on white cardstock. And actually, this is probably a little bit thinner than cardstock. One of the office supply stores that was near me went out of business, and they had probably 100 sheets of this paper that was like maybe $3. So it was about cardstock weight, but if I try to peel the photo off, it will tear. It's not quite cardstock weight, but it feels good and it looks nice. And so for, $3, it was money well spent, and I can handle some of it, tearing if I need to rip it up or, move the photo. But so that's what I'm using to mount my photos. And this crosshatch paper from Amy Tangerine had both of the colors that the girls had on with their dresses. And I just thought I couldn't match it any better, and I really liked the way it looked. So my first thought was to have a top-heavy layout. I wanted to try to change up some of the things that I'd been doing, and I wanted a different feel for the page. And you will see that I end up going back to one of the tried and true comfortable page designs that I like. So I did decide to mat the photo on some vellum as well. And, it's one of the little things that Missy Whidden likes to do. And I really liked it because it adds another layer without adding more color. And, I really wanted the blues and the greens to be the dominant colors with just a pop of the pink or the yellow. And I had fussy cut the flowers that are up on that top right hand part of the screen before I started the video, because I did not have much room on my phone, much storage space, and I wanted to make sure that everything would be recorded. So here you can see me tapping my fingers, and that's my sign of I'm trying to figure out where I need to take it and what I need to do. So when I moved to the paper on the side, I thought, okay, I'll just have one vertical strip and then a horizontal strip with this Dear Lizzie paper with the yellow hearts. And I start looking at that, and the yellow is close enough to the flowers, but I did not like the way it was looking. So very soon you'll see me pull the heart paper away, and I toss that idea. So then I look to see if there's something else that I want to mount the photos on, and I liked that bit of pink because it pulled in the pink from the flowers, and I wanted to keep that part. And there really isn't technically anything wrong with this design, but I felt like the flowers were, especially on that right hand side, getting lost. And so I put a doily behind the flower cluster, and while I liked it, it just wasn't my favorite. So I decided to go ahead and use a horizontal strip, and immediately my eye liked this placement much better. I felt like things just made sense, and that it just was a more pleasing to my eye. So I had these thickers in my stash, and I decided to use a couple of them, the My and Best, and I really liked the way that the cursive letters curled around the square photo, and the way the B connects or butts right up against one edge, and I just thought it made a perfect resting point. So I went ahead and switched out the pink doily because I only had that one pink doily, and I have several of the yellow, and I just kind of couldn't use my one and only pink doily. I have hoarding issues, and I wouldn't say necessarily hoarding issues, but I knew that the yellow would work just as well here, and I just wanted to save the pink. Doilies are definitely my go-to, and they are one of the things that I just love putting on layouts. So if I could use a different color and keep a hold of that pink one just a little bit longer, I wanted to do that. So right now, this is almost exactly how my layout will look. And, you know, I was so pleased. I felt like the focus was still on the pictures, but the flowers took, I guess the flowers were also one of the main focal points, and I just really liked the way that it looked. So I decided to go ahead and put things down. And this little strip, I prefer to use in my ATG gun when I'm using strips, but it was so narrow that the tape would have been a little bit wider than the paper, and I just didn't feel like fussing with that. I heard someone say that they were having some issues with the fine line bottle, and it may have been, I think it was Kate Kennedy, and I don't really have any issues with it. I just find that, you know, when you put it down, you just have to give it a minute for the paper just to hold, but it will not hold like glitter or there's another background that I found that it wouldn't hold with. But if you have that glitter, the thick glitter paper, not like the POW glitter paper, you know how thin that is and kind of smooth. I haven't had a problem with that, but any of the thicker, chunkier papers that have just more of a rough texture, I don't find that that glue, that quick dry works as well with. And I find that glue dots are a better adhesive. And I think Tombow also has a stronger adhesive that's better to use with different materials. So I decided I wanted to pop up one of the photos, and I used this foam tape that I have, and I just popped it up a little bit because I knew that the title was going to rest on the photo, and I didn't want it to be so high off the page that the upper part of the best would not connect down to the paper or wouldn't adhere. So since I fussy cut the flowers out of the paper, I pulled out distress inks, and I just inked around the edge of the particular color in a distress ink that was close to that color. And that just helped cover up that white edge so it didn't look like it was cut out of paper, and it looked more finished. And it was amazing how much of a difference that little bit of inking really made, and I will definitely do that again. So you can see when I fussy cut, I didn't quite finish all of it because I wasn't sure how I wanted the flowers to be. You know, there were several different orientations that it could have tucked, and fussy cutting, while I don't mind it, sometimes it can be a little bit of a pain, so I didn't want to have to do more than I needed to. But I ended up needing to do it all, so I should have just done it in the first place. So when I'm adhering these flowers, I'm only sticking adhesive in the middle of the flowers because I knew that I wanted parts of it to, you know, come off the page, give it a little dimension and a little bit of a shadow. I just love the look that that gives, and just think that it adds so much to the page. And I had cut that leaf piece that I'm messing with now separate, and again that gives it more dimension because you can see that it's layered underneath, and I just like that look. Now one thing that I do that I do not show on camera is I will go and I will add some stitching to some of the paper pieces, and I do show that up close in the stills. So that's pretty much going to do it for me, other than the adding of some of the enamel hearts. And again, you will see those in the close-up at the end. Thanks so much, guys, and I hope you have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.